it's like I've always used the planner, but I never used them right. Like I would write in them, probably wouldn't go check it. So now I'm working on habits and routine in my calendar. But I'm also in a weird state of calmness, like a weird state of, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like you have so much going on, so much hitting you at the time. Like I told you, I keep feeling like I'm in a slap off with life. Like
Yeah.
so much that's slapping me right now, but I know God got me.
Mm.
So I'm at a weird state of peace. So I feel good. I mean, the feelings can change. That's why I don't know if I like feelings no more, because they can change. Like they're
Yeah.
never gonna be the same. They lie to you sometimes, have you being crazy, and they just feelings. But touching a little bit deeper into them, I would say I'm calm. I'm calm. I'm waiting for the next thing. Yeah, that sums it up.
So I can say that you did do your daily devotion.
Yep.
So would you say that doing the daily devotion today is the reason why you feel calm? You sharpened your weapon?
Um, no, because no, well, let me take it back. I would say I would give half to not so much the devotion, but the prayer. Like my prayer this morning was good. And I don't like to do quick prayers because I want God to feel me and I want to feel him in that presence. So like if I do a quick prayer because I know I gotta go and I don't want to go without, praying or whatever, then I mean, when I do a quick prayer, it's cool. But when I do that long prayer, when I'm having time with God and I'm being able to um say what I want to say and feel him and make sure like we really spending some time together. Like I'll be like, okay, Daniel, you watch 30 minutes of a show, but can you do a 30-minute prayer? Like that's how I be thinking sometimes. So I'm like, okay, well, when I take that time to really pray and really spend time talking with God, I feel better. So the prayer this morning had me feeling a lot better. But yes, the devotion does help. And sticking, like we talked about yesterday, sticking to our morning routines and getting us up and going. But I also think that every day is just a reminder, like you made it another day. Everything is not over. You tripped out probably, a couple days before, but God still got you. Like I said, so I'm calm because I keep getting reminded every day he got me. Yesterday I started off with nothing, like nothing. And I was like, look, God, I don't have nothing, I don't know how to do nothing. Oh, I didn't even tell you I got blessed from somebody else, from a business partner, and unexpectedly. And I was just like, okay, God, you just keep coming through with what I keep saying, which I apologize for in my prayer this morning. I keep saying the small blessings because I'm like, it's just enough to get me by, or it's just enough to get what I need. But really, it's big things because it's stuff that's sustaining me. It's stuff that I need on a continuous basis that I don't even have to think about. And he's supplying those needs. And then if it is something that I consider small, like, okay, maybe I was able to pay just this bill, but not the other bill. Or maybe I was able to, uh, put food on the table or do something for the kids, but I wasn't able to do, something else. Those wins, those small wins, you gotta take them in and you gotta appreciate them. You gotta praise them, but also in reality, not small, they big. So yeah, I think that's what overall the prayer and just having a constant reminder that God is here for us. Like he didn't leave us. Just remembering his promises, remembering like he still got me, even through my struggle, he still got me.
I think last night when I hung up the phone with you, I got myself going to bed early and I still ended up scrolling into 1 o'clock. My brain couldn't rest. I couldn't rest. But the whole time I was scrolling, I was having a conversation with God. Like, so he was like allowing me to scroll and find him. Like every scroll that I pretty much stopped at it, I found God. And one of them I sent to you. I don't know if you watched it, but
I
he
don't
was
know.
like, we can't see what God is doing because we can't see what he's doing. But he
But
broke
it's
it.
so true.
Right. And the way he broke it down, I could, because it at the top, the title said "Watch to the End," and he started off with "We can't
That's how they
see
get you.
what God is doing because we can't see." And then by the time we got to the end, he said he gave us good reasons why, because God is doing what he doing. Like he doing his
Right.
job. You know what I'm saying? And he said by the time we got to the end, he said, yeah, so we can't see what God is doing because we can't see. Like we just can't see it. And I think from that, I was just like, you know what, God, I hear you. Because we all in the same boat. Like I'm talking to
Right.
everybody at this point, and we're all in the same boat. Whether the business is booming, whether they got monthly checks coming in, like everybody is in the same boat. So taking it day by day, me doing my daily devotions, I will say has been giving me peace throughout this week.
That's good.
Plus, I feel like I did something that I needed to do a long time ago, and that was work on me and be okay
Mm-hmm.
with telling people like I don't have the mental capacity to take on you or anything else. Like I love you. I'm still here for you, but I can't do what I can't
Right.
take on. Like right now I can only deal with my issues, my problems, my life. That's me, my son, my household, my family. That's all I can right now. Anything on top of that,
And I think that's hard because it's you almost want to apologize for it, and you don't need to apologize for it when you don't actually, saying that. But it's hard because life is really called you everybody reach a point in life, whether it's an age or it's a time, I mean an age or a certain experience, or you in a certain location or whatever it is. Everybody reaches a certain point in time, or whether it's even through tragedy, where you just want to you realize what's important, you realize what you need to do, and you
yeah,
need space to do that. And
yeah,
right now I'm seeing a lot of people in my circle, so friends, my brothers, um other family members, business partners, we're all in a place where it's like we fighting for something. We trying to grow, whether it's personally, spiritually, financially, in some aspect of your life, you're trying to grow. And with growth, you need separation. With growth, you need time to yourself to figure out yourself, to see how you're going to do this. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one responsible for it. And I think a lot of times we forget that the same space that we needed when we were trying to grow in those ways, now this person needs it to be able to grow in those ways too. And instead of giving them that space, either we find that a lot of people come to us and they be mad at us for taking our own space, or we might in turn do it to somebody, be mad at you taking your space when it's like a time that I feel like I need you. Like,
or you end up not telling someone that you need your space, and then you
yeah,
end up exploding. You end up exploding on that person, and by that time, it's too late. It's too late. And
yeah.
now, you know what I'm saying? Now it's a whole different situation where from the beginning, you could have just told the truth. Like, listen, this is what I need. This is all that I can do. Whether
I
I
think
can,
as adults, we don't know how to really tell. I'm gonna speak for myself, but I know some other adults, but I'm gonna only talk for myself. I think we don't necessarily know how to ask for help, how to ask for certain things,
yeah,
because we are taught and trained as adults to really depend on yourself. I mean, think about how many lessons you grow up learning that you shouldn't talk to strangers, right? But
right.
then when you become an adult, you got to talk to strangers. Like you got to put yourself out there and talk to, like, have you ever thought about that? We literally taught not to talk to strangers, but then as an adult, we get to a place where we got to talk to strangers. Like we might be taught to mind our own business as a kid, but then as an adult, we responsible for so many other people that we trying to mind their business and ours, and we don't even know how to cope. But we've been taught to mind our own business. Now, in some cases, I guess it can be, the pro to that, and minding your own business works as an adult. But if you got people you got to take care of, you got to learn how to tap into their business. Not
When
saying
you
that you,
work of the Lord, you're going to
huh?
I said, when you're doing the work of the Lord, you're going to somehow, some way end up minding somebody else's business. Because in order to do his work, you got to get your hands dirty. You got to get in the field.
And look, for all of our listeners on Sister Talks, we are going to talk about God on this podcast. So I'm going to just make that clear to y'all. No, we are not any pastors, evangelists, deacons, or anything like that in the church, but faith is important to us both. So I hope y'all on this faith journey with us, because we are going to talk about God. Just had to throw that in there.
I can't talk about no crystals, and I'm not against the people that have the crystals. Maybe you could teach me something, but one thing I do know is God, and that's all I can. Hey, you want to know how I got here?
Right.
God. You want to know how
Right.
I'm moving? God. You want to know
Right.
why I ain't gave up on everything while these bills is calling my name? God. So, hey, this is our journey. So I hope you guys enjoy it. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the topic of the day, which is balancing life, work life, entrepreneurship, your kids, your space, finding ways to get your peace. How do you balance all of that? I think that's one of the biggest things to talk about, really, because people deal with that on a day-to-day basis. It's ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about this last year with Mothers with Dreams. Like, how are you balancing? I think the balance changes almost every day, every quarter, because your life changes. There's always something new happening. So I guess, how do you balance what you have on your
I'm
hands
gonna
right
let you take that one first. You tell me how you balance it.
now? Okay. My best friend, my new best friend is my calendar. My calendar. Like, my calendar, best friend. Task. I'm learning, the more you put stuff on the calendar, the more tasks you put up there, you're no longer thinking about what you have to do. So when you have to think about what you need to do and what you have to do on that day, guess what? You're wasting time.
Yep, I agree.
You're taking up time. Sticking to, when you're unsure of what to do, going back to reverting to the calendar. So for me, Monday through Friday, from 9 o'clock in the morning up until 5 o'clock in the evening, I'm on a calendar. My schedule is calendar. From 9 to about 3 o'clock, I'm still in my office. My son is getting home. It's time for us to do homework. So what I'm learning is, when I'm in my office, he likes to come in my office too. So that's what we're doing. We're doing homework together. So from about 3 to about 5, I'm finishing up what I got to do in my office, and I'm seeing what he needs, what type of time he needs from me. Another thing I learned, it's okay to tell people, I'm gonna call you back. You know how many times me and you be like, okay, we didn't got our kids, hey, talk to you later. Listen, I gotta get mine some
Right.
attention. Yours is very demanding of attention. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, boom. So we got work life, we got kids. And then now we got my kids schedule, because now my son, he
Man.
practice Monday,
And I'm not even a sports mom yet, and these kids control the schedule.
Tuesday, and Thursday, okay? You better hope it don't rain, because it could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Or it could be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. Games is on Saturdays, and you better hope the coach didn't book another game on a Sunday. So weekends, I don't have an off day. So when I say I'm constantly changing the balance, because I have to, because my week to week is different. But what I do make sure that I find time for, and I'm learning to do, is starting my day earlier. Because what I'm realizing, when I get up early, 9 o'clock takes forever to get here. 10 o'clock kind of takes forever to get here. When it's 10 o'clock, dang, it ain't 12 already. And I'm like, okay, I like this. So starting my day early, because I am an entrepreneur. I'm not working for anyone. I'm working for myself. So I had to get out of the rhythm of, let's be honest, depression.
Right.
Depression will hold you. And let's be real, I was depressed. I wasn't speaking up for myself. I wasn't demanding what I need. I was listening to Sarah Jakes this morning, And she said your body tells you um, when it's hurting,
What
when
you
you're
need.
neglecting it. It's telling you, which is guiding you. We say our prayer, we ask God for these things, and he sends the answer through our body. He used the temple, he used the body. You know, he give you the answer through the body,
Yeah.
and you still don't pay attention. And all last week I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep. When I say my shoulders were so tense, body hurting, I'm tossing and turning. I'm ready to cry because I'm like, listen, I here's another thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I wasn't choosing myself, I was allowing depression to sink in. I was allowing my blood pressure to go up. And then I woke up.
Which throws your balance completely off.
Those are balanced completely off because guess what? I'm now getting up at 9. If my meeting starts at 10:30, I'm I'm not moving around until then. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of reminds me of when I was working for somebody. When I was working for somebody, I didn't roll out until it was time to clock in.
Especially work from home. That computer right next to the
If
bed.
I'm going into the
I'm just
office, I'll get
roll
there, go
over.
back in, and if I need another nap, I'm going to take that nap. So it's just like balance for me changes on a day to day. But what I will say
Mm-hmm.
is this week, I feel like I am mastering what it looks like for me to have the balance that I need to get through a week. A week of things I can't see, a week of things that I can't undo, a week
Mm-hmm.
of walking by faith and not by sight, meaning I'm solely trusting on the Lord to get me through.
Right.
So that's what balance looks like to me. So yeah, what does balance look like to you?
So to me, honestly, I'm still getting a wrap of balance. And I don't know if I really like the word because it's hard. Like when I think of balance, I keep going back to those spinning plates, like, those I don't even know what they call, but entertainers who spin all the plates, holding them on the sticks, and you trying your hardest not to break one. So
Yeah,
to me, I feel like, or drop one. I
like
feel like that's
shatter.
everything. So for me, I'm looking for life right now to be in harmony. Like I just want everything to be in harmony. Everything to just kind of flow and go with everything because it's a lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot trying to work on myself and working on myself is a lot. So I'm unlearning and relearning things. I'm trying to build a business. I'm trying to be a good mother at that. I'm trying to be a good significant other. I'm trying to be a good sister and all of these things. So I got so much. And like you said, when you tap into those people's lives, you got their schedules too. So it's
right.
a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So I'm looking for harmony to be in place with all of those things. And that just means for me giving time to each one of them. So I got categories written on my notes, written on some of my whiteboards in here where I'm just making sure I know what I'm giving my time to. But
Right.
also, like you said, being being obedient and being like, I guess having your calendar be your boss, like you said. Being obedient to your calendar and having it be your boss. So I'm learning that, but I also, it's like I've always used the planner, but I never use them right. Like I would write in them, probably wouldn't go check it. So now I'm working on habits and routine in my calendar, making sure, okay, if I'm writing in it, I'm checking my calendar every day, making sure I'm accounting for every hour. You taught me the other day, like put value in everything that you're doing, no matter how big or how small it is, no matter if it's making money or not making you money, put value into everything that you're writing on that calendar and let it be your boss. So doing exactly what's on your calendar and planning out each hour, I think I'm trying to get a lot better on that. I mean, I'm trying to get better on that, but I'm doing a lot better in some areas and in some instances, but it's also making sure that you know what works for you. So I'm between the calendar on my desk to the calendar on my phone to the reminders app and then to all my Google or Gmail products and those calendars. And I try to put something on everything just because I know I have a habit of kind of being all over the place. Like I'm organized for the most part, but I can still tend to be all over the place. And I also want to do better with my time. So, like you said, literally planning out every hour of your day and understanding what your day looks like based off of your life is going to be a daily practice. And it's just habits that I'm trying to build. So, balance is a lot for me right now, but if I could have everything in my life be in harmony, um, yeah, that would it would work better. So I don't think that nobody's perfect, but I don't think that I'm doing the best that I can be, but I know I'm practicing these habits every day to do better. And in the future, I would like to see myself truly live by my calendar, have my structured morning routine, have each hour of my day planned, know what I'm doing a week before. I am doing better with having my Sunday nights planning out my week. So every Sunday night, I go and I plan out the things that I know are definite. The more my calendar fills, the more, things I add on, I feel like I'll do a lot better. But I think because I
Absolutely.
have so many gaps sometimes that I fall short of what I should be working on. And I just need to pencil in other things that I know would like self-care or, something that is still growing within me, but is on that calendar. So I'm
Absolutely.
growing. I'm a work in progress when it
I
comes to
think
balance, and we all are honestly. Nobody is
when
perfect,
you're
no matter
trying every day, you're growing. Like you're one step
exactly.
closer to where you want to be. It's when you're not pushing yourself. It's when you're not able to identify the things that you need to change within yourself in order to get to where you want. So I feel like, as always, we have to give ourselves grace
Yeah, I
because
talk about it, but I don't do it
grace
well.
is like is one of my new words, vocabulary words for this season. Is giving myself grace and reminding myself, like, listen, you got this. You're going to get where you want to go when it's your time, which
All
is
right.
always going to be in perfect timing. So, in that time, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit around or are you going to prepare? Are you just going to prepare for one thing because you just dream about one thing, or you dream about 50 million things? So prepare for all 50 million of those things. That way, when it's
Right,
time to
and write
press
them
play,
down because that's what
they're
helps me
moving.
feel. Like I told you, I had these gaps in my calendars, but the fact that I have so many notes, my notepad is ridiculous. But the fact that I have so many notes that gives me things that I want to work on, maybe in the area of faith, or maybe in my area of family, or maybe in the area of self care, or whatever it is, I have something that I could literally plug in on a calendar. So just keeping your goals in mind, your health goals, your education goal, whatever goal you have, keep that in mind and keep little things about it so that it can fill in those gaps in your calendar. But I think the biggest takeaway is that you have to be we all guided by God, I believe, but you have to guide yourself by something else. Like you got to make yourself accountable to something else. Maybe it's a person or maybe it's your calendar, but you got to be accountable to something. And you also mentioned another good point of how you did when you were at work versus, running your own business. And it's so crazy because I told myself, like, as an entrepreneur, Danyell, you have to get back in that mindset. Like, you got up and made it to that job and worked that job from 9 to 5. I gotta get in a place where I'm like, okay, you have to work this business, whatever my hours are, but you have to work this business and get up and do those things. Like, so the same way I sat at that desk for 8 hours, maybe you need to sit at your desk, or maybe you're out doing work for 8 hours. Like, I think sometimes it's so easy to get pulled by something else, which is why you got to focus on your calendar, make sure you have your time blocks, because it's so easy to get pulled by something else of what you could do. Maybe I can clean the house, or I could take the dog out, or whatever the case is. So yeah, try to run it how, I guess I would say, run your life how you would run it if you were working for somebody else, by scheduling everything and by being that focused how you were focused at that job. Some of us be focused on your business. And that's what I got to remind myself.
Absolutely. I think some good takeaways is really scheduling, making sure you're keeping your calendar busy, because at the end of the day, when you're not valuing your time, when you're not utilizing every minute of the hour, um, you're taking away from the success of whatever endeavor that you're trying to do. So once I realized that, I've been utilizing that, and I see I don't have time for anything else. And also, I don't even have time to dwell in what I don't have, what I can't make happen right now, what's not working, because I have 50 other things that I can make work right now. And the more we continue to push with that, the more you continue to create a schedule, stick to your schedule, and push in that direction, you're going to look up one day and you're going to be right exactly where you need to be at the right moment, at the right time, because you're continuing to push through and you allowing God to solely do his job, because he wants you where you at. That's where you are. That's where he wants you to be. So now it's our job to figure out what is it that we can take away from this. You know what I'm saying? What can we get out of being right here? Are you going to pay attention? Or are you going to sit there? Are you
And
going to
like we
let
talked in our last episode, you have to put action. So yeah, we got the faith. Some people have that down pat. I get it. But you got to put the action. And the
Yeah,
action requires you to be disciplined. The
yeah.
discipline is hard. The discipline is hard. I'm not going to lie.
It's
Discipline
hard.
is hard.
It's hard.
So I don't like people who try to make it like, oh, come and join this or go and do that. It's going to be easy because I did it. Look, your struggle, your life, your everything is not mine. It's not going to be, your story is not mine. Discipline might have been easy for you. Discipline is hard. It's hard for me.
It's hard. Working out, hard. Getting up every morning after being a worker and getting up at 9 o'clock right before my first meeting, hard. It's hard for
Yeah.
me to break. You know what I'm saying? And I'm fighting it every day. But every day, guess what I'm doing? I'm giving myself grace. I'm giving myself grace. You want to know why? Because I tried. I thought about it. I even disciplined myself, and guess what? I move forward. Try again tomorrow. And that's what I've been
And
doing.
don't look, I want to be clear. Grace don't mean just, okay, say, okay, forget it. I'm not going to do nothing because I didn't do this or I missed that. No, grace means not beating yourself up, but still moving forward, still moving forward. So the more we still, the more we keep moving forward and doing little things, even if you forgot to do this or you wasn't able to complete that, whatever the case may be, you keep moving forward. So grace is not beating yourself up because you know that you're not stopping. Yes,
Right.
I may have failed, but I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to make myself feel bad for what happened in the past. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And like we said, all of those qualities we just mentioned leads up in that, in addition to being obedient to your calendar, you got a great entrepreneur lifestyle right there. Like you got everything you need. You disciplined, you structured, you scheduled. And of course there's other things that you need, but it's that those are the foundational pieces, right? Like that's what we need to start.
And I don't really even want to go too much into that because that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a topic within itself. Like, because we got to check in with each other. But,
man,
girl, because life be lifing, you know. But at the end of the day, I am so happy. Queens are really enjoying, the show, and you're able to take away some great information, and start learning new habits.
yeah.
Because that's all we're doing. We're learning new habits and we're sharing it with the world, and we're praying and hoping that it helps ultimately, because we pray and hope it helps us.
For real. We ain't doing nothing but helping ourselves and now just allowing ourselves to be helped to others. Like we said, everybody don't have this. So shout out to all the sisters, all the best friends, the ones who can't live without each other.
the family not by blood, but you try her and you'll see how bloody it can get. You know,
Period.
in Jesus' name we pray. We hope it.
Oh, thank y'all for listening. Until we hear from you guys again.
Don't forget to like, follow, and make sure y'all subscribe. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. You know, get our subscriptions up. You know, we're trying to get there, and we're trying to get there fast. But we understand it's not a microwave thing. So if you really love us, if you really support us, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Until we meet again.